Hello guys, it is that panda noob and I'm here again with another video. And first off, I kind of want to apologize. I know I might be uploading a little bit less just right now, right? I know I'm doing a little gap in my uploads and I'm feeling a bit bad, and I'm trying to get my information together to kind of, do a hero combo video because I do know that a lot of people are wanting that, but I've like really I just my head's been hurting a lot. I'm having like really bad pain on like my body. It's just not ideal. And I am just lazy in general. So honestly, all three of those together just make for a bad storm. So I do hope you guys kind of understand. I am busier lately with just game internal affairs, be it multiple alliances and stuff. So it's not easy for me. And this is the one problem with being a leader as well as, trying to make videos. It does take a bit of my time. So, yeah. Also, Island Raid is next week, so I will be possibly a bit busy and there probably will be a gap in my uploads depending on our enemy because, I'm depending on who we're facing. I'm either going to really fight hard or I am going to just relax, right? Because I'm not going to fight if it's G1, for example. If the bracket is G1, we got Boone and all of those players in there, all those big whale alliances. I do not plan to really fight or compete. One, because I mean, my alliance is still probably, recovering mostly from the last island. Unless it is a doable enemy, I'm not going to really force my members as well as myself to drain out and I'm not going to burn through my universal speeds for an opponent that just wails out on their speed ups, right? Like it just wouldn't make sense unless, it was kind of advantageous. The alliances were advantageous. It just doesn't make sense for us to really going full hard against whale alliances with a bunch of tier 6. So that it does end up being the case. I will just probably sit back, or I will be doing minimal fighting, in that bracket. So I do hope you guys understand if that does happen. I'm not trying to hurt my alliance for the sake of content, and I don't want to just, kind of punish them to, force them to fight. So I just hope you guys understand if that does end up happening. But yeah, I know I'm just blabbing now, but I kind of wanted to just go through that so you guys kind of understand if I do, or if I do have a gap in my uploading, or I just don't, upload Island Raid videos next week. So I do hope you guys understand that. Also, you guys, in general, I just want to thank you guys for watching. It does make my day, when you guys are, one, just watching these videos, and two, you guys are just super nice to me, as well as, just thankful for what I do. And it really does make my day really just that much better. So I do thank you guys for always being so nice. And now I'm just going to start talking about the footage, maybe bounce around. That's what I kind of do. I'm kind of bad at staying on one topic. But yeah. So right here, you guys are going to be seeing a lot of Arkham bases being burnt because, I'm trying to basically empty my camera roll at this point, especially with Island Raid coming up. And I'm kind of worried about, not getting these videos out, mostly because I don't want my camera roll to get full like last time and I have to delete stuff on my phone just to keep getting content. But yeah, I will say though that we had like this ordeal with Arkham where, okay, we basically had pushed them back to their helipad, right? And they started building out to the side. And I was actually kind of worried when I saw this. So I instantly built a tower and instantly just decided I was going to swarm this tower out. And I will say that I think we were taking worse trades in the start of that. And we honestly might have taken bad trades overall in that tower if they didn't pull out their garrison captain. They pulled out their garrison captain for that march, which was insane. But yeah, as you guys see here, they actually start sending in marches one by one. So we actually do take the better trades, I think, in this overall encounter. We do end up getting wiped off the field because we lose an endurance battle, of course. So we're kind of close to their territory. And I end up dragging myself onto their territory, giving them territory buffs and all of this such. So honestly, I kind of gave myself a disadvantage by running into their territory instead of backing off when I started getting close. Though, like I was saying, I do think I took the better trades in general here because, they were kind of sending out one march at a time and we could just isolate fights, swarm down one march, and the trades were just really favorable. We ignored the tanks for last. Like we would target, well, honestly here, I don't think I actually ignored the tanks as much because, it's way harder to control multiple accounts. Whereas if I, just controlled one account, I could obviously target who I target, and people I usually target are going to be the weaker heroes, be it Lewis, be it Catherine, compared to a tank, of course, whereas like they put out minimal damage. I'm not trying to target someone who's not, dropping a bunch of skill damage on my heroes and wiping them off the field as soon as possible. Jaden is a big target when I see like a legendary hero. I definitely just run out Lee if I see him, or sorry, Liam or something if I see those type of heroes. If you have a DPS on the field, always make sure you're targeting those first over, like Tom or something. I feel like that's definitely something that, people, I'm not really sure. I haven't really paid attention super well, but I do notice here that the last two of my marches actually on the field end up being my tanks, so that was actually good on their part for targeting my tanks mostly, or sorry, my DPS heroes mostly. Like they left my tanks on the field for last, which was, just the better thing that they could do. They were targeting like Lee and stuff off the field a lot, and I do use Lee a lot. I do like that AoE, especially in murder ball situations and where I'm fighting a lot of marches at once. Having AoE heroes can be massive, and it does put out a lot of damage to a lot of heroes at once. So I do like, having AoE heroes when I'm running murder balls. That's why I love Lee actually. And Lee was an early game like OG hero that you were able to like kind of collect relics for in, I think, campaign. So it was way easier to get him up at the time. And that's also why I use him a lot more because, my Lee is generally already pre-leveled and stuff from early game. So it does make it easier for me to use him on all my accounts, which is just really nice. Honestly though, guys, if I do end up getting a little awkward, I'm socially awkward out here, so I will probably end up, I start stumbling on my words when I start running out of stuff to say. I know there's reports in the last minute of the video, so if I do end up just running out of stuff, I probably will cut off my audio around 11 minutes, so I hope you guys understand that. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys for always watching my videos though, it makes my day. And this is how you guys start knowing that I start losing anything to say. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I sent Fireheart in here, and I was actually gonna start teleporting accounts up and just sending them in to kind of reinforce me. But I noticed that, I actually got wiped off really fast on Fireheart, and I actually had run out of other accounts on the field. And I do end up trying to come back up here with like, 2 accounts, which was being in my main account, and I was actually teleporting more in. But they ended up running off, and, fair, because I wouldn't have wanted to keep fighting there, especially when we were still winning in trades mostly. I do think that we, won generally in like the trades we were taking. And, the longer we fought there, the more accounts I was going to be able to port up. And like one big issue I had there was actually I was kind of far away from the field, right? Because the thing is we had a fishing village right there, right? And of course we did build that tower so that we were able to swarm their tower down, but nobody was actually teleported up by that tower, which we placed. And there was a fishing village that actually like kind of cut us off from teleporting really close unless, we did have a tower there. So I was kind of far away, and I wasn't able to keep reinforcements or like, more troops coming into the field. So I had to wait for all my marches to go home on an account for me to actually teleport up. And that's why it actually was like hard for me to keep field presence there. And I ended up just losing it. But, I do think that we took, decent, if not better trades on the field. So it was a win there to me, but, I definitely could have probably done better, especially if I didn't go on their territory. I try not to fight in, unfavorable situations that aren't advantageous to me, and that's why you don't generally see me trying to run on. Actually, you know what, you guys see me do it so much. I'll run on people's territory anyways and fight them because I'm stupid. But I will say, like, one thing I really dislike doing is actually having to burn people's towers, because that really gives them a huge advantage. You have to take field control as the attacker, being that you're going to need to keep your rally full, whereas the defender really doesn't need to keep field control around their own tower as long as they have bases there that are able to keep the tower full, because, all it takes is a few people who are able to keep sending 5 marches into that tower, and you can have that thing holding forever, but you need field control. So one, your rally isn't getting swarmed out. You're able to keep marches, on the ready that you can keep putting into the rally. It's way harder to be, the rallier than the defender. I definitely think that no matter the case, and also it is enemy territory, so they're going to be having territory buffs, and if you're fighting them on their territory, it's just really not, advantageous to fight for a tower. It's just, and that's why, like, every second counts when you're kind of going, for example, towards mid, right? If you're going to be building towards the ruins, if you're able to take over the ruins, build all around it before your enemy is able to get there, or even just take over more space, one or the other is going to have to kind of fight into the enemy, right? Like, you're going to be forced to fight into their territory. If they're able to get reinforcements from, other alliances, you're in even worse of a spot, because you're having to fight off all these people in the field and have marches outside the rally to keep it full. It's just usually pretty bad to be the attacker, I think. So honestly, those are one of those situations that you don't want to get in. You really just don't want to be forced into fighting on enemy territory. It's always just really rough. I hope I do keep you entertained, those guys. Though, guys, I do blab quite a bit. I definitely blab quite a bit. I don't. I'm like I said, I'm socially awkward, so I do try my best. I'm not really good at conversing with the phone or the camera, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really good at conversing. So I am trying my best to, kind of keep this interesting and always talking. I do hear that a lot of you guys find my voice calm or whatever, or soothing. It's a weird thing, but I hope this kind of keeps you guys entertained just a bit. And it looks like the reports are here. Okay, I feel like I just embarrassed myself. So I'm kind of glad that the reports are here. So I do thank you guys for watching. And you guys can look through these reports if you like. And peace out. You guys have an amazing day or night. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.